All right, welcome back, folks. Welcome to Politically Homeless. My name is Dave. I got James Roguski, one of our favorite commentators and guests, on with me today. James, how are you?
I'm on fire, Dave. Push my button and here I go. All right. Um, I've actually been working on what I want to talk about for almost 2 years now, and it's getting launched right now in a big way. And so, what is going on in Europe? In addition to all the craziness, is Europe and the European Union. They've got something that the United States doesn't have. They have a system of participatory government called a European Citizens Initiative. I've been working behind the scenes helping out with that, but don't let that get you confused. This is not just about Europe. This is a way of explaining what I've been working on for 2 years now. What they have put forth, I've been working with Justina Walker since like February of this year. It's not a petition. It's not a declaration. It's not any of these things where, people try to get everyone to put their names in and then nothing happens. This is a legal, official European process where when you get 1 million signatures in 12 months, they have to listen to you. And what the purpose of an initiative is to change the law. Now, let me just summarize this really simply. If someone in the medical profession told you that something was safe and effective, and they said that you had to do it in order to keep your job or travel or this or that or the other thing, and you realize that, well, maybe they weren't giving you all of the information. They were trying to get you to give your informed consent, but you decided that you didn't want to. Well, I refer to that as informed dissent. At any point in time, you can say no. Okay. Now, in sexual relations, when a man and a woman, or two men, two women, whatever it may be, when someone says yes and they say yes and they say yes, but then they change their mind and they say no. So even if you've had one of those things or two of those things or three of those things, if somebody is saying, you got to get another one, you always have the right to say no. That's
Yeah,
informed dissent.
right.
The push has been, well, I gave you the information, you got to sign on the dotted line, and we're going to do this to you. No. Let me ask you a question, Dave. It's a rhetorical question.
Mhm.
If you found out that your healthcare professional didn't give you all of the information, you didn't get good information. Maybe you got some misinformation. Maybe there was some missing information or some disinformation or some malinformation. What law protects you?
Mm,
It's a trick question, Dave.
yeah, that's a good question. What is the answer?
Okay. If someone is doing something that's harming you, and you want to sue them, yeah, okay, great. You can take them in for malpractice or whatever.
Yeah,
But where's the criminal statute?
yeah,
Title 18, section blah, blah,
yeah.
blah,
I don't think there is
slash.
one.
That's what we're doing here, Dave. We're writing the model legislation that the lack of which aggravated what was going on over these past 4 years. Because if there is no law that has a penalty attached to it, and somebody's doing something that harms you, well, you can deal with it on a personal basis. You can, in common law and natural law, and we're working with this as well, you can, let them know that, you're unhappy with what they're doing. Maybe you contact their liability insurance provider and you play
Yeah,
that hardball with them.
right.
Okay. Maybe you contact their medical review board, right? And you play that hard. There are things that people need to do to stand up for their own rights. And we're working in that area as well. It's not just constitutional law or admiralty law or criminal law or the whole legal system. It's also common law and natural law. The law of one man or woman, dealing with another man or another woman, if harm is caused, the laws have been corrupted. And so what we're doing in Europe is a process by which Justina Walker, and they had to get 7 people from 7 different nations to basically say, look, we need to change the law.
Yeah.
And what I'm working on, you can find on informed-dissent.com. And I'm having a daily Zoom meeting for people to give their input. We've already been doing this for a couple of weeks now. The whole procedure goes way back further. But anyone out there in the world, we're building model legislation. All the crazy laws that they're putting in there, like, doctors are not allowed to say things that, they feel are true. They have to toe the line with the medical establishment.
Right.
There's so much effort going into crafting laws that are horrible. Kathy Hochul in New York with, her regulations to make her queen of New York so she can lock you up in her dungeon and make you do whatever she says. We need to come together to craft the legislation that we want going forth into the future. I'm crazy. This is an enormous task. A lot of people are going to go, oh, it's not going to work. You can't do it. Well, somebody's got to take the initiative, literally the initiative, and grab it and run with it. And so that's what we're doing. I'm not doing this by myself. There's all kinds of people involved already. If you go to informed-dissent.com, got a daily Zoom meeting, learn about what's going on. I just published an article about the European Citizens Initiative, so you can find out what they're doing. They're doing it for Europe. We're doing it for the whole world, because once you have a model legislation about what you think things should be, well, you can adapt that on a city level. I've met somebody about an hour away here in Palmdale, California. 2 years ago, they got an ordinance passed where it's illegal for anybody to ask you to, wear a mask or get a jab or whatever to live your life. Okay.
Good.
It's happened in various cities. It can happen on a county level in Collier County and Sarasota County. I think in Florida, they've passed ordinances and resolutions. It can happen on a state level. It can happen on a provincial level in Canada or wherever. Obviously on a federal level, but even on a level of, the European Union, right? So if anybody out there thinks, hey, wait a minute, you can't make me do that, there ought to be a law.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a phone call, 310-619-3055. Go to informed-dissent.com and let's get to work. This is not going to be easy. The European Union initiative is a year to get 1 million signatures. Well, there's 440 million people in Europe. I think we're going to be able to do that, right? But we don't need signatures in California or Florida or New York or whatever to put our heads together, decide what it is we want, grab our representatives by the throat and go, look, you're going to listen to me. This is what we want. We don't want laws that give liability protection to corporations that are harming us. We don't want laws that protect corporations and doctors from, lying to us. Right. We want laws that protect the people. So if you want to get started on this, give me a phone call, visit the website, join our Zoom meeting every day. And if working to build a better future is too hard for you, then, I wish you all the best in the world. Have a great day. Not asking very much. I'm asking people to put their heads to work. And, what is it that you want? How have you been harmed? Were you told you couldn't go on an air flight unless you got jabbed? You couldn't travel. You couldn't go to school. You couldn't live your life. Now's the time to come together and craft what we want going forward into the future. So Dave, as always, I went looking through some of the stuff that we've done, and, you were right there at the first, helping me spread the word about this. I appreciate everything you've done for me. And, everybody just take the link to this video and share it with everybody you possibly can. This is global.
Yep.
It's not just the United States, it's the whole world. So make this go viral, and let's get working on what we need to do to take back control of our health, because you're the person who has control and the right to decide what happens to your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul. Now's as good a time as any to start, stand up and take action to defend your rights. So Thanks, Dave. I appreciate the time.
James ROGUSKI, thank you so much, and thanks for all the hard work that you do. I'm hoping that people appreciate all the work you do, because
I get a lot of love, and it's wonderful. If I don't get back to somebody immediately, my bad. But I try to call back everybody who reaches out to me, and people are just absolutely wonderful all over the world.
Yeah,
So
you got his phone number, you got his address, all the coordinates that you need in order to get at least the internet coordinates. And James, as always, whatever you want, brother, you're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you, Dave.